Well, I'm on a club dig today and it's a perfect site for demonstrating some different programs and what they offer in terms of feedback. Now this site behind me is full of iron. It's mad for iron sounds. There's a lot going on and there's little targets nestling in between this iron. So let's get out there and just demonstrate a few programs and let you hear the feedback, and I'll tell you why I don't really like machines that give no feedback. Silent search, if you like. Now before we start, let's just touch base on why finding the iron is important. Well, as we said so many times before, if you want to make a great success of your metal detecting, you need to be attracted to the iron rather than walk away from it, because iron means habitation. And some machines work well amongst iron, some machines don't, but the XP Deus, with its fast recovery speed and its sort of dynamic performance, is a perfect machine to work an ancient site with. That's why so many people choose the XP Deus, especially with that recovery speed of 4. When you're really in contaminated ground, you can put it onto 4 and you can hear the machine just working, snapping between the iron, looking for those positive targets. Have a listen to this. One thing you can say for sure is there's no shortage of iron on this field. Just listen to that iron. There's loads of it, isn't there? Wonderful. Yeah, nice straight line, look. Big signal. A lot of potatoes still on this field. Right, let's go in with the MI6 if we can try and spot this. I can't see it anywhere. Right. Right. Oh, I can see something round, look. Small coin, don't really know what that is. Could well be a little Roman. Well, it's a little coin to the collection, isn't it? Look, empty. There's the first one. That was using the sonar program, and you could hear there how dynamic it was. It was telling you every little piece of iron in the ground, wasn't it? And bang, you had that positive signal right in between it. So okay, I've got a little patch here. I'm going to use it as a control, and I'm just going to walk up and down it a few times, and let's compare a few different programs and let's see how they react to the iron, because this iron is feedback. It's not noise, it's feedback. It's telling us we're on the right spot. So let's go with the basic one first and side by side with the Deus Fast. Here we go. Okay, the bog standard basic one program. Our starting point here is the spade, so let's go. It is still switched on, by the way. Just cracking on a bit of iron there. And I think that's it. We call it the end just here. Now, by using that basic one program, would you know you're walking over an ancient settlement? You wouldn't, would you? Because it's so silent. Agreed, when you go over a nice target, it's going to give a nice ping, but you're not getting that information. Let's try Deus Fast now. Deus Fast, standard program. Deus Fast has an iron tone, so we will get a little bit more information out of it. Low buzz, which is your iron. iron. So that's the day as fast. So we've actually moved up a step in terms of dynamics and information. So let's go on to the hot program and then compare that against the day as fast. Well, as you can see there, the hot program uses a -6.4 discrimination. So literally no discrimination. We're depending on target conductivity to give us the answers. But we're going to hear a lot more ground information coming through because we're using no discrimination. The hot program. Now we've got 3 different tones coming through there. We've got that fizzing in the background, which is the ground. We've got the low blacks, which is the iron, and we've got the high tones, which are the positive targets. But can you see what I'm saying now? We're getting information. If you were walking across a field and your machine started doing that, you'd know you're on a busy spot and you'd slow down and perhaps work it a bit more closely. So that's the hot program compared to the day as fast program. What about the sonar program compared to the day as fast program? Now the sonar program is my own program. We've got a video on how to put it in. Let's give it a try on the same patch. Here we go. Are you ready for this? This is the sonar program. Just quickly run through: frequency 14, iron volume 0, reactivity 4, audio response 5, notch 0, disc -6.4, 3 tones, tone breaks 202, 202, 881, tone sounds I should say, tone breaks -6.4, that's the discrimination, 202, and the tone break is 9. So here we go, this is the sonar program on our little test patch. Go. Now that is dynamic, I'm sure you'll agree. That tells you every bit of metal that's in the ground. Really rocking and rolling that sonar program with a nice high pitch audio tone. It's a 2-tone program. So okay, I can hear a lot of you guys saying out there, oh crikey, I couldn't listen to that noise all day long, that'd do me in the gearbox. But if you didn't want to hear all that feedback, you can start introducing some discrimination to the sonar program, just to start mellowing it out a bit. For example, at the moment the sonar program uses -6.4 discrimination because it's open and we're dependent on the tone breaks for the target. If you raise the discrimination to something like -2, you'd start losing the ground information, and then you start to introduce just the iron tone. So hey, why not, let's do that. Let's introduce -2 discrimination to the sonar program and compare the two. Sonar program, menu, discrimination. The dot in front of the number represents a minus, by the way. There you go, -2 discrimination. And let's do a pass using this and comparing the sonar program with the -6.4. Here we go. Well, that was an interesting little test, wasn't it? So as you can see there, you can adjust how much feedback you want to hear by feeding in the discrimination. Now, if you just wanted to cherry pick the higher conductive targets, by all means put some more discrimination on it. But today, with all this iron, do we really want to be hearing all the iron and ground feedback? Well, that's entirely your choice. Personally, I do. After a little while it may be a bit of a headbanger and I start quietening things down a little bit, but at the moment I think it's good. It keeps me alert, it keeps me on my toes, keeps me interested in the whole game. Okay, so I hope that video has been a little bit of interest to you and sort of demonstrated why it's always good to have some audio feedback coming through those headphones. A lot of detectors out there won't give that at all. They're just dead flat and you don't know what sort of ground you're walking over. So using this method kind of gives you a bit of a head start on other machines, doesn't it? Right, thanks for watching everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook groups, the Metal Detector Skills School and EXP Adventures, and subscribe to this channel if you can be bothered. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.